Felon Crusader here, and welcome back to the channel. So this is all tin work job. It's all about getting this bead roller to work, do it what we want it to do to recreate the new sides in our water washer mud guards. And so we're doing a few experiments with bits and pieces, and to get the job to come right, and hopefully we shall end up getting the mud guards done. There is a little clip in there. I went down the field and just had a tidy up with the grass cutter around the wheat field and barley field, sort of getting ready for harvest. Like the corn's all died off, and barley and spring wheat, spring barley and winter wheat is all died off, but the seed is still very milky at the moment. But I thought we'd go and get trimmed up and get ready, and I suppose the next thing we'll have to do is probably abandon the water washer for a while, and we'll have to get the binders out and get them sorted and get them ready to go down the field, because we're only a few weeks away. So we'll have a go at bending this on the next one, and then it'll be back on field work. So we'll catch you on the next. Okay, so we finished up last week doing this, and obviously we was getting a bit of a bend in the plate, and the only real way out of that now is to shrink that edge all the way along. And it would not be the easiest thing to do a rolled edge on that, because you've got to turn another lip up. If I can hold it. So you've got to turn this edge right angles upwards, so you can lay your wire in the back and then bead it round. So it becomes more difficult as you go along. But the question is, did they put the bead in first and then bend it? Or did they do that and then put the bead in? It'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? I'm sure you boys out there to make the mud guards thinking, oh, what the hell's he playing at? But I've not seen anybody make them. I've got to figure it out for myself. So the thing for me is, so you've got an edge like that, and because of how wide it is, it's a bit of a devil to straighten up. With that, you've got a shrinking machine. So my theory is, if you've got a 10mm wide flat, it would bend along its edge quite easily. But as soon as you progress to like 25mm, and in exaggeration, if you say like 50 or 60mm, along its edge, it's very strong. So if it's got a bend in it, it'd be very difficult to get that bend out. Without heating it up and sort of doing what a shrinker would do, if you like. But so a 10mm flat would bend quite easy. So I'm thinking that if you rolled your edge first when the metal is flat, and then bend it up, it's a lot less to warp because it's a shorter piece. So that's sort of my theory on there. So I've done another test piece, and I've done my rolled edge. Made it the same radius as the sheet's going to be. And I've done the rolled edge. And that's gone okay, and that's with a 4mm wire. So I did one earlier on the other side of the tin. But I didn't sort of do, it's the same radius, but I got a bit too much material bent up, and as with the one, it warped a bit, so I cut a piece off it, just nearly with the tin snips. And then rolled the edge on. But it sort of went all right, and it's flat. But I wasn't methodically enough with the roller and so forth, and it's got a I can hold it so you can see it right there. It's coming along, but what it does, it veers off a bit. Really wasn't paying enough attention to it. So what I'm going to do with this one, I've done the rolled edge, got a nice edge, and now I'm going to make a roller that's 10mm wide that sits in there with the groove, so it supports all that, and then tip the plate up, because in that way the distance is preset, I can't shift it, so it should come out more even all the way around. And with it only being 10mm wide, I'm thinking it'll bend better than if you was doing a bit like that wide, because there's a lot of material in there that you've got to condense is the word probably. So if you look at the radius there and then you come down here, obviously the radius is going to be smaller. So to condense that lot into a smaller radius is where your surplus comes. Sort of best way I can say it, like. But with a 10mm bit, which it is, for me it should bend a lot easier. But anyway, we're experimenting. So we've either got to do it one way or the other. We either do the edge like that and shrink it to straighten the plate out, and then set to and bend it up again to get the rolled edge, which will be more difficult because then you've got a bit of plate here in the way from when you're rolling and peening your edge over, and plus you've got to be able to bend that edge up over as well. So yeah, there's lots of ifs and buts. A lot easier to put the rolled edge in on a flat piece of plate like that. It's just a matter of whether I can tip it up. So I'm going to make another roller that's 10mm wide with the groove in, so when that goes round it can't shift, and see how we get on. In my head it says it's going to work, but in reality of course it might be a complete pain. But we've got to try it, we've got to find out, and then we can progress to a brand new sheet of tin and knowing that somewhere we're near the mark. So we've got to do a test piece first. So I'll crack on and get the roller done, and then I'll bring you back. Right, so that's got rid of them bits. We just ground the edge off there and a little bit in there. It was only a little tiny bit, but it was enough for the bead roller to go tight. And that's a lot easier for me now, for that just to follow that rod, and as opposed to me trying to, guide it. It's giving a perfect line around there now all the time. Look, can we see it? Get the light right so you can see the line, can you? difficult. There, look, now you can see the line all the way around, look, and it's nice and even. So we'll keep going with that. You do see like the blue machine's wobbling about, but you know, if everything's sorted and it's going to work okay, then I'll put a stronger leg. It only stands on the anvil, and I'll put a stronger leg on it so otherwise it don't wobble about. It is a little bit awkward, but you can see why they made powered ones of these. Well, it's tipping it up okay. Yeah, we'll get a little bit of deflection, but hopefully when I get it tipped right up, the edge is small enough for me to knock it down. But we shall see. It's good exercise, if nothing else. Yeah, we're just getting a curve in there now, look. But I think it'll come out. I think it'll knock out. Yo. Bloody hell. Okay. So you can see we've sort of achieved an even run all the way around. And of course, it's done the inevitable. Yeah, you see it's bent, look. But because it's a short distance, I'm thinking that I could straighten that out. Because it'd be a bit of a problem shrinking that now, because the shrinker ain't going to fit on it. But anyway, follow me and we'll see what we can do. It sort of worked on a smaller bit, but of course on this bigger bit it may not. But of course the other thing you've got to bear in mind, when I do the mudguard, that's even a bigger bit. So we've got to have our hands full there. Good boy. Right way, look. Right, so I've got this little planishing hammer. We're still in focus, yeah. And it's sort of alright. My best hammer is this one, and of course it's got a leg missing. I used to use it for everything, and that was my mistake really. I should have just kept it to panel work. But it got a nice round head on it, and it's got the depth in here. So when you're tapping down here, like if you're going to knock this panel here, I've got room under my hand. Whereas this one, the blooming knuckles are on the bench to keep the head flat, which I'm not too very keen about. But more like while I'm over the edge of the bench. But right, so we'll have a go at. So it's sort of taking shape. Got a little bit of a bow in the back of the tin there on that corner, but we're nearly at right angles. Probably just wants running back in the beater and just square it up again. But we'll keep working at it. You see what we're up to. And we'll just see how much effort that actually takes to square that up, because obviously the bigger you get, the more there is to do. I do have another idea on this as well, having another set of rollers with the bead roller to stop it from bending, so it's like bending in two directions if you like, but that's for another day. So I'll keep messing about and see how it comes along. Okay then, so I've pretty much got it. Got the edge I require there and the right depth. And it's sitting flat on the table. It follows the line on the sheet, so it's the same radius. And obviously you get a little twang here, but I've got an edge on here as well. But you got to remember we've got some stays to put in it, which will, you know, straighten it out should they be a little bit like that. But you know, we're banging and buggering about on this edge. You know, it's not fair. It's not sort of being fair to it, but anyway. And that's about a third, well, just under a third of what there is to do. But I've got a couple of more bits I'm going to try. I'm going to do another one because I need to get it right in my head first that we're going to go right before we tackle the big tin. So I'm going to cut another piece of sheet and we'll have another go with another idea and see how that works out. But if I can get the rest of it as good as that, I'll be well happy. I've just tried it in the mudguard, and yeah, the mudguard top will clip on there, treat and roll up. That'd be no problem. So yeah, it's just that when you've got a bigger piece, it's a bigger curve, and probably create more stress. But no, I'm well pleased with that. That represents what they did, and I just had to bite the bullet eventually and do it. So that's where we're at the minute. Right, so I'm just squaring the mudguard edge up where the beads got to go in, and I've just got a shaped piece of metal which I'm just tapping it up all the way around, because where I bent it out, you can see it's not, we need to get back to a uniform shape, so by as the bead roller will follow it, you know, in a reasonable fashion. So we're just going around and just tapping it up, tapping this down, and you know, create a nice channel. And then one of my test pieces, look, which is quite a long radius. You'll sit in there, treat, look, and then we can run the bead roller around that edge and squish it all back up. So probably was tapping in a bit more like, but so we're sort of, you know, getting ready and just sort of tap it out. So so that fits in there a treat. So we'll just carry on tapping around there. I'll just see if we can set you up just so you can see me bashing about a bit, but I won't be able to tap that bit up. I've got to bend it round a bit first because it'll probably send it the other way. But you can see what I'm doing there, right? And that's 6mm wide, and the bead is 6mm wide. So hopefully that will all just slot together, and then we can run the bead roller around it, and the job will be a good one. So I'll crack on with that. And then obviously we've got a repair to do in this corner along its edge. So what I may do, I'll make a complete piece and put the join in the middle of the seam, in the middle of the bracket. Then it's out of sight. From the outside you'll not see it, only a little bit on it on each end. And I can roll the bead because we've got the roller, so it all makes that job just a little bit easier. And what I will do, I will cut a piece of out the middle of this, because obviously it'll have the slight pitting marks in there. Even though it's got paint on it, it'll still have pitting marks in there, which will match in with the mudguard more. And obviously once I get the repair done, I shall blast the area to make it uniform and give it a nice paint key where you've ground it. So that'll do that, and I should do the same with that one, but it'll be just an area inside because there's nowhere I can hide that one. So I've got to just get it to the triangle, just right to the edge of the bolt holes, and hopefully the material's thick enough to be, you know, put a piece in. So and then I've got just pinholes just here. Well, I should put my sheet of aluminium behind it, and I'll spot through and just build some of that up, because it ain't worth, well, half of it will be, it's the wrong half though, it's a shame, but so we'll just have to see what we'll do with that. It's just a little bit thin on there, but we should do so much, whether we fill it up or whether we cut it out and put a piece in, but we'll see when we get going. So yeah, you can see that's like a nice uniform edge all the way around there now, look, to my dolly bit. And then you can see where I bent it out, look, it's you'll struggle to run the bead roller down that, whereas on this one, you know, it'll get a good start and leave a good line because it's all uniform. Anyway, we'll crack on with that and catch you on the next. So we're just machining up a few more bits for some dies for the bead roller. So we've got the mudguard side all cut out. So we're all cut out and sorted, and the only thing I've got to do is to cut that hole, which will be cut in the milling machine, but I don't have to do that right now, I can do that anytime. So the rollers we're doing now is for tipping the edge of this up 12mm, so we can start to roll our wire bead in. And then once we've got the wire bead in, and then we'll tip it up again, and that's when the problem starts. But we've got to give it a go. We're not going to know how it's going to work until we've tried it. So that's where we're at the minute. Okay then, so this is prototype number 5. So that's number 1. That was number 1, number 2, that was number 3, that was number 4, that was number 5, sorry, number 6. So I've gone for a full hog this time, not on my mudguard side, I hasten to add. We're still not sure whether we're going the right way about it, so we thought we'd do a full size in a bit of scrap tin, well not scrap tin, but you know, a bit of tin big enough, and see where it leads us. And if I get on alright, well then we'll set about the big one. So we've just got the wire in, and we're just pinning it back in a place or two, just to hold it in. And just in case you're wondering what the wire is, well, I can tell you what it is. It's the same as that stuff up there, look. And I've always known it as sheep fenced high wire, straining wire. One, it's the right size. Two, I've got it. And three, it's galvanised. So I thought that'd be good in that corner. Last the rest of the tractor out. But anyway, it's tough old stuff as well. So yeah, we'll keep cracking on and putting these just indents over just to trap the wire, so I can finish the rest of it and then stick it in the bead roller and finalise it, and then go for stage number 2. Well, I was thinking of stage number 3, because stage number 1 is bending it, stage number 2 is putting the wire in, and stage number 3 will be bending it right over as per them. And that's what they should end up like. But I believe that this tin, although I measured it with a vernier, but I think it was 1 mil, because it was going a lot easier than what this did. This is supposed to be 1.2, and I can tell you this was bloody tough going. But what I did with this one, and it was an absolute bugger to do, you can probably see by the state of the metal, the way it's been bashed about. I bent the lip first and then did the rolled edge, and I can tell you now, that took me blooming hours to do that. There's not much room in the back of there to set, turn, roll an edge over. Not without you got some sort of special tools. Yeah, I peened the hell out of it to make that come round. So we're going back to the first initial thing, is to put the bead in first, and then we'll bend it up, and then that's when it bows its back. But I've got another idea for that. That's why we're doing this test bed on this one, and see if I can straighten it out afterwards. And if I can successfully, well, then we'll set about the proper bits. So I'll keep patching, and I'll catch you later. Right, so we're getting a few bits pinched up. So we're just going to set about this next one. And just see if we can So there you are. So I'll just drop the grips off. So that's all pinched up. I'm just going to sit to and hammer it all round. And although this mug has arched its back, by the time you've got this all knocked over, it does flatten itself out quite well. And the problem will be when we come on the next bend. But I've got an idea, so we're going to try it out, and when we get there I'll bring you back so you can see it. So that's all the beading knocked over. Just need to finalise it now on the bead roller, just to get a nice round edge to it, which will have to happen tomorrow night because I've got to have somebody to turn the wheel, and we're here 10:30 tonight, Tuesday night, so that'll have to wait now until tomorrow night when Mickey comes home from work, so I can hold it and bead roll at the same time. I will have a go at trying, I've got my tripod for my laser. If it'll come up and support this with this in the roller, then I'll have a go on my own. Just thought about that, so yeah, I might be able to do it tomorrow. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Hey. Okay, so we've got set up here now. I'm going to roll this bead. And I've just got the sheet that's resting on my tripod. Just move the tripod a bit now. And this is the problem with a hand operated machine. You want one hand on here, one hand on here. Well, basically we need two hands on here to keep this steady, and need somebody else to work the machine. But when we come to tip this edge up, we'll have to get Mickey on it and turn it for me, because it's just too much, you can't do it. I'll just move it again. I mean, it does the job, I can get away with a few bits, but so that's pretty much it. So I'll put this one back on the bench. So that's got the edge all rolled on through the bead roller, look, all nice and uniform, all apart from a little bit at this end, and we've got a little bit of surplus metal which I was talking about here before. We just need to just get rid of that little bit, and then that's all good for its final bend. And this is the one that's going to determine whether we do it like this or not. So we've just been cutting the rubbish from around the field down to my muck heap. Bloody bugs and slugs flying everywhere. The wheat's died off, the barley's died off. Just waiting for the grain to harden. It's still soft at the moment, but and there she stands. So that's it then, that'll do before harvest. Okay then, boys and girls. Silly bugger. That's it for this one, and I hope you enjoyed that. A bit of tin bashing, and so harvest is nearly upon us, so we should probably be doing harvest videos next. But yeah, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next.